Will Smith is firing back at claims that he and Diddy organized gay Hollywood parties where closeted A-listers can go wild behind closed doors.
His eyes welled up with tears, and he said, "You really think I'm holding you back?" And I was like, I had like committed, so I had to double down.
Rumors about Will Smith being gay are nothing new. However, new allegations appeared on social media about Will being involved in organizing wild gay parties with Diddy.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I've been practicing. I got
Yeah.
notes.
But what did Will say about these allegations? What exactly is his connection to Diddy? Well, this rabbit hole runs deep, so let's jump right into it.
And he paused, and he looked over at his lawyer. He said, "Let him go. You're free today." And I was like,
Rumors that Will Smith is a closeted gay man are once again making headlines, and this time, Will's also facing new allegations of throwing decadent gay parties with other Hollywood stars, including Diddy.
Yeah, that picture there, that they was at that party that day. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of weird, that whole, yeah, that's weird, dude. Yeah, bunch of, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no gay basher or nothing. I mean, none of that shit. That shit ain't right, you know what I'm saying? That whole party was weirdoed out.
Now, before we talk about what Will had to say about these allegations, let's go over some context first, because there's a lot to unpack here.
Diddy deserves his own video series on this topic of, black men who are DL in the industry. There's so many receipts, videos, messages, accusers, people who worked for him, his personal assistants, other black celebrities.
Rumors about Will Smith being gay can be traced all the way back to the 90s, when Will starred in the comedy drama 6 Degrees of Separation, playing a gay con artist.
Hold on, Weez, I need yours.
It's been wonderful seeing you.
Oh, no, stay.
Well, now my time is so short before I leave America.
Darling,
I really should.
The script called for Will to kiss his co-star, Anthony Michael Hall. However, Will made the writers remove that scene. Shortly after the film came out, Will admitted in an interview with ET that this was an immature move on his part, and claimed he was scared to kiss another man on screen because he worried what his friends in Philly are going to think about it. However, rumors soon started circulating that the real reason Will refused to film a gay kiss scene was because he was afraid of drawing attention to his own sexuality. Also, in a 2020 interview, Will contradicted his previous claims about not being fully committed to the role and claimed he went full method for 6 Degrees of Separation.
So I did method acting on 6 Degrees of Separation. And essentially method acting is when you submerge yourself for extended periods of time, confining yourself only to the thoughts of the character, right? So at a stretch when I was doing 6 Degrees of Separation, I took 9 days without breaking character.
What's also interesting is that shortly before he started filming 6 Degrees of Separation, Will got married to his first wife, Cherie Zampino, and they divorced less than 3 years later. And in 2016, transgender activist and actress Alexis Arquette made a bombshell claim that Cherie filed for divorce after she discovered Will in bed with record executive Benny Medina. Alexis made these claims shortly after Jada and Will announced they'd boycott the Oscars over a lack of diversity. They even tried to rally other black actors and actresses to join them in their boycott. So in response, Alexis took to Facebook and slammed them both for being hypocrites, writing, "When Jada comes out as gay, and her beard husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked into him servicing his sugar daddy Benny Medina, then I will listen to them." Alexis went on to describe how Will threw a fit on the set of 6 Degrees of Separation when he was required by the scene to kiss Anthony Rapp, adding, "Gays have enemies. They lurk in gilded closets. Outing is healthy." But interestingly, Jada, who was very outspoken about her Oscars boycott, didn't say a word about Alexis's post. Will also stayed silent on the allegations, and the only person to speak out was Will's first wife, Cherie. Cherie called out Alexis over her malicious and reckless comments, and she claimed that Will isn't and never has been gay.
Not only is it out of line, it's absolutely not true. And I'm offended and I'm hurt that someone would be so malicious and just reckless and destructive and use a lie and an untruth to prove a point. I don't know what you were trying to do, recruit out, and Will was straight in 1992, and he's straight in 2016. So, that just kind of is what it is.
But many fans felt Cherie was protesting a little bit too much because she could have just brushed this off as a silly rumor. However, her strong reply made a lot of people wonder if Alexis had touched a nerve. Meanwhile, rumors about Will being gay continued to mount, and in 2020, actress Tisha Campbell alleged that Will had hooked up with her ex-husband, Dwayne Martin. Tisha posted a photo on her Instagram with the message, "The truth always comes out in the end, no matter how hard anyone tries to hide it." And she wrote in a comment, "And you're right, they will lie till the end. The real kiki is, people will stop believing them." After fans noticed Tisha capitalized Will twice, they started speculating that she was alluding to the alleged affair between Will and Dwayne, who were actually close friends. These rumors were further fueled when Star magazine published a report claiming that Will went on a vacation alone with Dwayne, which infuriated Jada. One insider told the outlet that Will spends significantly more time with Dwayne than he does with Jada and the kids, and claimed that Will and Dwayne went on a vacation in Trinidad together, and they definitely looked very close. It was clear Will and Dwayne both arrived and left together, the insider said, adding that Jada feels like Will flaunts his relationship with Dwayne in her face, taking him on exotic vacations while she's sitting home alone. And then in September 2020, YouTuber Trisha Paytas posted a video on her channel claiming that Will had forced himself on one of her male dancers.
How about worry about your cheating husband my male dancers, when they didn't want to? How about talk about that?
Now, Trisha's very controversial, and a lot of people thought she was just stirring the pot. Trisha later admitted she didn't know whether the allegations about Will were 100% true, but she also said she heard this from multiple dancers. Later that same year, comedian Bert Kreischer added more fuel to these rumors when he appeared on Vlad TV and described how he got an offer to audition for Will's company, which led to an awkward meeting with Will.
They sit 2 chairs in the middle of a dance studio, facing 2 folding chairs in the middle of a dance studio, facing each other, and they're like, "We'll be in a second." I sat with the chair with my back to the door. I didn't know what door he was coming in. And he walked in behind me, and I could feel his energy.
Bert said Will invited him to go see a movie, and his dad warned him that Will probably had other plans.
And he liked me. He liked me. He was like, "Let's go see a movie." I was like, "Okay."
You guys went to a movie?
I called my dad, and I was like, I got in the car. My dad goes, "How'd it go?" I go, "It went great." He was like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, we're going to the movies." My dad's like, "What?" I go, "We're going to the movies." And he was like, "Want a date?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I don't know. I really didn't ask." Like, I was just needing. And he was like, "What do you mean? Like, what? You and him are going to the movies together?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And I was like, "It's at Planet Hollywood." And he was like, "They have a movie theater there?" I was like, "Dad, I don't know. Maybe we'll go get lunch there and dinner, and then we'll go to the movies." And he was like, "Oh, buddy, he's trying to f you." I was like,
Bert also went on to talk about how a lot of A-list men in Hollywood have this fantasy of turning young boys. And this brings us to Will's alleged partner in crime, Diddy. Just like Will, Diddy has been the subject of gay rumors for years. But the really disturbing part is the story about Puffy Flavor Camp, where Diddy would allegedly bring his young music proteges. One of these young men is Usher, who was just 14 years old when L.A. Reid sent him to live at Diddy's house.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
camp.
what it was called.
It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Usher revealed that he was paid on a daily basis to stay with Diddy, and when he was asked if he'd let his own kids attend Puffy Flavor Camp, he said, "Hell no."
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
what
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See?
But that's not all. In a recently resurfaced interview with Kevin Hart, Diddy let it slip that he and Usher used to sleep in the same bed.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this for me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid.
Now, it's pretty obvious that Diddy was drunk in this interview, but that doesn't mean he was lying. In fact, it makes it more likely that he was being truthful. And did you notice that Diddy said Usher was 10 when they slept in the same bed? This would make Diddy 19 at the time. So why would a 19-year-old sleep next to a 10-year-old boy that he's not related to? What's also interesting is that Jaguar Wright recently accused Will and Jada of running something similar to Puffy Flavor Camp in their home, and he claimed that August Alsina isn't the only young man that these two tried to mentor.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed dog. But I don't like when these so-called black Hollywood couples want to come in and then they want to sit there and play gatekeeper. Meanwhile, they're abusing and misusing all kinds of young people.
Jaguar also claimed that Will and Jada's kids, Willow and Jaden, must have witnessed all kinds of crazy stuff in their house, which is probably why Jaden wanted to emancipate himself when he was just 16.
And once again, I hate saying these things because their children are dope. But Jaden's kind of MIA. And considering that he emancipated from their household at 16 and refused to come back, even to do family interviews. You know?
Yeah.
Willow's just kind of, she's dope. Too much happened in that fucking house. Too much happened in that fucking house. And meanwhile, I go to jail for defending my child, and these don't even get a CPS visit for the kind of they kids see.
And now, on top of all this, rumors are starting to circulate that Will and Diddy are known for throwing huge gay parties where other Hollywood actors who are on the DL can go do whatever they want. Keefe D recently claimed that he actually witnessed one of these events back in the day, and he said the whole thing was so weird it looked like an Illuminati ritual.
Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, you told me before that you was at a party before that they attended and you said the party was weird. Tell me about that.
Okay, this is boxer. His name's Twan. He's from our neighborhood. He was married to Tanisha Arnold. So the broad played Pam on Martin Lawrence. We went to the party with her. It was matter of fact, it was a set it off party. Jada Pinkett, Vivica Fox, all of them was there. You know what I'm saying? It was just seemed like Puff. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of weird. That whole that's weird, dude. Yeah, bunch of it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no gay basher or nothing. None of that shit. That shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That whole party was weirdoed out. And it was Jada Pinkett. But
You saying the whole party was weird. What did you see at the party that made it weird? I'm confused.
I guess it was Illuminati. It's just weird.
So how did Will react to all these allegations about him and Diddy? Well, what's interesting is that Will was scheduled to appear as a surprise performer at the 2023 Grammys. However, Questlove later claimed Will couldn't make it because he was filming Bad Boys 4. But it's kind of strange that Will would agree to perform at the Grammys if he already knew he'd be filming that day. And this is why fans are now speculating that Will decided to pull out of the Grammys because of all these rumors flying around about him and Diddy. Fans are now saying Will probably wants to lay low until the dust settles because he can't risk getting any more negative publicity. Will's first movie after the Oscars slap, Emancipation, was a box office failure. So if he wants to get his career back on track, he has to be really careful. As for fans' opinions on Will and Diddy's alleged gay parties, a lot of people are saying they wouldn't be surprised if these rumors turn out to be true.